All right, pleasure to see everyone connecting sound. Fantastic. All right. Okay, guys. Just so you guys know, I'm recording the session, so you guys can, you can get back to it whenever you guys like. I'm gonna upload it to, one of the media channels, either Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, so you guys can always get back to it. Um, I don't know like how well you guys know me, but like I have a natural tendency to go like all out, like Unreal Engine, AI, 3D, and each one of you guys is coming like from a different perspective, from a different topic. So, I'm gonna try to, let this webinar like be informative enough to answer all your questions and kind of open up to your curiosity. Um, all right, let's get started. I'll share screen with you and I'll show you what I got. I'll share screen. All right. So, I don't know how much you guys are familiar with Unreal. Has any one of you already had a chance to download it and play with it? You can just like say yes or make a thumb up. Cool. So the pipeline today, I know like some of you are coming from GIS, some of you are just like more into 3D art, some like Nana are more into interior design. It's all cool. I'll try to, make this detailed enough to touch base on all of those. Um, so usually I work straight from Rhino. Is anyone familiar with this one? All right. So it's kind of interesting. It's somewhere in between 3ds Max to Blender. Blender is completely open source and free, so I also added the links to download it. And you guys can go, we have Hollywood productions going with it. We have like very serious studios for ArchViz and architecture planning going with it. This image specifically is kind of interesting because I went ahead and 3D modeled this parametric facade. Computational design is also something that is a very, I would say, like a hot topic today. And then I came up with a bunch of renders, which I was kind of happy with. And then I kind of started playing around with Flow and Gemini and ChatGPT and Kling and other tools. And I came up with this cool, organic look. And then I said, like, that's interesting, but what happens if I'll reverse engineer it and I'll take this image, turn it into a plan? From the plan, I'll clear out everything into just lines, what you might call SVJ, an SVJ file, and then I'll extrude it to start coming up with the actual shape that I had in the image. Said, ha, I think I just cracked like AI in a reverse engineering method. Um, so that's one aspect of it. Um, Another one is taking it straight into the software. So I'm gonna, instead of making it more like a lecture, I'm gonna make it more like an interactive session. Um, does any one of you have like installed on your computer either one of those softwares like Blender or your 3D software or Unreal Engine? If so,
Um,
then yeah, you can you
yeah,
can you can unmute yourself and say yeah, so I'll know that I'm not by myself.
yeah, I downloaded Unreal, Blender, and one other thing. I don't remember the name of it.
All right, awesome. So let's open up, for the sake of the exercise, let's like each one of you open your Blender with your 3D model. And I'm gonna teach you like the most basic thing, which is taking your 3D model into Unreal Engine. Does that sound good to everyone? Yeah. All right. Cheers. So once you have it open, let's take it, I'll take it to the screen here. let's say, okay, for the set, I'm gonna do the demonstration. I want it to be a little bit more exciting than just a cube. So let's see, add here something nicer, like a boat or a yacht, or and I'm gonna go. If you already modeled it, then do it. If you have it downloaded from, the Fab or another 3D market, then you go here, import FBX, and I have mine here. It should be called, yeah. Okay, I have mine in downloads. Okay, MetaYacht. Okay, so that's my file. There you go. Cool, sexy looking. I got this awesome archer, from the ZBrush, and the rest of it. I've been working on it for a while. So kind of proud of this piece. And let's say we want to take it now into Unreal. I'm gonna set Control A, just mark everything, and I'm gonna set the origin by object, so origin to geometry. And now I know that it's focused on the XYZ. Like if I rotate around with my mouse with the middle mouse. By the way, like just to clarify, this is completely free, right? Like any one of you can download it right now. And if you'd like to experiment, I'm just gonna send it in the chat. Uh, so download Blender. So I'll just send it to everyone. Where is the chat? There you go. Chat, 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 chat. There you go. So everyone can download this. And if you don't have a 3D asset, go to Sketchfab right now and download something to your liking. So I'm gonna link you. The second link is a link to Sketchfab. Um, mm, there you go. So that's I'm just gonna share it here. That's the Sketchfab website. And let me send you guys. Okay, there you go. So whatever model you guys desire, it can be a robot, it can be a structure, it can be a car, just download it. Once you've done that, go back to Blender, center it just like I showed you guys. And once it's centered, I'm gonna click here. This one is a little bit tricky, so let's see how it works. Um, we gotta make sure that the entire model has triangles and that XYZ set. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna set export SFBX. And once I go here, I'm gonna go to selected objects. I'm gonna change it from Z forward to X forward, and I'm gonna change it from Y up to Z up. That way I know that my 3D software, my object, and Unreal Engine are coordinated with what's up, what's down, etc., etc. Also, click on the geometry here and make sure that you have triangulated the faces so the computer can actually make the calculation and give it a name. I'm gonna call mine MetaYacht, right? And sorry, caps lock on Meta, yeah. Um, number two, and save it wherever you guys like. Export file. Okay. So now you know essentially how you go about from the 3D modeling into the real-time renderer. Let's go back to Unreal Engine. Right. And by pressing Control Spacebar, I'm opening my menu, right? So once I open up my menu, um, I can see the library material and all that good stuff. Just minimize the screen. So press Control Space, and now I want to go into the asset library, and I'm gonna press, just gonna click here, and I'm just gonna press add. Um, sorry, there you go. Just gonna press, oh, there you go. Sorry, the zoom is just hovering on my Unreal Engine screen. So I'm gonna press import to current folder. Can everybody see that? All right. So once I choose that, I'm gonna go to downloads and I'm gonna take my MetaYacht and I'm gonna press open and it's gonna shoot it inside my project. Let me know if you guys are. I'm gonna stop here just for questions and like hearing from you guys because again, like I'm not seeing this as a lecture, but I'm seeing this more like as an interactive session. So if you guys have any questions up until now, please like I'd like to hear you as well. Thoughts? Anyone want to
Um,
take the mic?
I'm curious, what exactly is the difference between Blender and Unreal Engine?
Right. Okay, that's a good one. There is a huge difference because Unreal Engine for now is not used to create like the whole production. Unreal Engine is a game engine. It started out as a game engine, and right now we're seeing it being used for ArcViz, for Hollywood productions, for movies, for games. Blender is not a game engine. It's a super cool engine. It's completely free and completely open source. Um, Completely free and completely open source, but you can't get the same results. You're not going to get the same results, not from the photorealism perspective, and also you're not going to get a game engine inside the Blender. I hope that like does that make sense?
I guess then I'm curious, what is the benefit of getting a game engine when it comes to modeling, especially when it's just a static image?
What are the benefits? Let's think this through. Wow,
Can I
what's that?
can I
Kenan?
try to answer?
Yeah, please go for it.
Unreal Engine is not a modeling software. They have a modeling section which is very basic. All the games that and many of the movies that comes out today, all the games of all the console like Xbox and PlayStation, and all the movies are being built in Unreal. So Unreal is like it's an engine for um, environments, cinematic, um, uh, game design, level design, architectural design, um, all that stuff. Its main focus is not the modeling. Like Osher said, you're supposed to bring models into the software. Um,
Yeah, I'll,
that's
I'll
why that's why Unreal Engine bought Fab.
That's
Um,
true. That's kind of I think that's really part of the reason. You're kind of nailing it down. Like I wouldn't naturally go with the 3D modeling, where Maya, Blender, 3ds Max, Rhino, my go-to tool. They're used to create, all these cool assets, right? So you're gonna do it there, and the cinematics or the ArcViz or the movie or the game you wanna choreograph, right? That's gonna be happening inside Unreal Engine. So completely two different tools. Elon pointed it out correctly.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Um, so I know, you know, Ekaterina, you're coming like from the GIS, right? So
Yeah.
with GIS, like in this case, we have like a completely digital twin of Montreal, right? The previous digital twin I was working on was Toronto, and then in the last video I uploaded to LinkedIn that was New York, and right now we have Habitat 67 by Safdie. So this is actually an open source project. Nana, for you, just so you look, because Nana, I know she's coming from interior design. You can actually get to the place where, you have all the materials and you can get into really fine details. Um, Kat, I think for you, because you're coming from an approach of more like I don't know what exactly it is that you do, but like with GIS, you want to be able to add like whole maps, which is very, it's very easy here because like you have the plugin that is called Cesium. We're not gonna dive into it today. This is something that I'm gonna keep probably for next week or for the workshop itself in a couple of weeks. But any city, any geolocation that you need, you type in the coordinates and immediately it brings it up, right? So that makes life a lot, easier for architects and urban planners and stuff like that. Um, I know Iran is coming more like from the aspect of, if I do believe, game making, and the silent person we have that is known to me as Sandbags. I think she's more purely into 3D art. So, but correct me if I'm wrong. All right, let's take this a step farther, right? Let's say you want to set up the scene. We have an ability to control the entire sun sky and the atmosphere. So, sorry, I'm on Hebrew. Let's go to sun sky. Fantastic. So we have the blueprint asset showcasing exactly, how to control the sunlight and the amount of clouds. So you can see here I have like the latitude and the longitude of the sun sky. And if I want to change the direction of the sun or the hour of the day, that's something that I can do, pretty easily. Let's say I want like sky to be bluer, or let's say we'd like now to, reduce the amount of clouds or increase the amount of fog. That's also something we can go here in the menu and experimental fog. We can increase the density, right? Then it can look more like I don't know, like a vampire town. Or if I'd like to control the clouds, I can go also to the menu here. And okay, there you go, volume. So we have it by volume. Now, each one of those is made out of blueprints, right? So if I'll go here into the menu and I'll create like a new visual effect, right? Like post-processing volume to make it all look more realistic, the sky atmosphere, the fog, etc., etc. I can, once I have the blueprint is essentially a bunch of C++ coded into nodes, and those are visual nodes that I can work on it. So let's take, for instance, just a material. Let's take the glass that is currently on the towers. And let's pick one, right? So, coding and coding the textures and the material is a whole Torah, like a whole topic for itself. That is also something we're going to dive in later on in the coming weeks. But essentially, like what I just want to show you is like you can do almost anything with it right now. Um, Is there anything in specific that is of interest to any of you, like from the fields you're coming? Like, once again, I'm letting you have the mic, and you tell me what's more interesting to you guys.
For me personally, it's just data visualization as a general topic, and more specifically spatial data visualization. So it definitely would be more static. Not so much these like I guess navigatable 3D scapes. And more so just to like I guess convey
Yeah.
information.
Okay, I have something in my sleeve for you, exactly for data visualization. Before I show you that, I'm gonna let more people answer that question. Please, guys, go ahead. Ilan or Nana or Offer or Lady Sandbags. Okay, so Cat, I guess I'll show it to you now. I'm just typing in like some some notes for myself. So I want to show you something pretty cool. Um, you asked me earlier about like where do you think that this is going with AI. So recently I had a chance to play around with a plugin called Grasshopper, right? And this is something it's kind of like I call it kind of advanced because for me it's still in the experimental mode. Just gonna shut down Blender for now, so I have like more space. Save. Yes. Gerecht. All right. So let me just close this one. Okay. Take a look. So for data visualization, I can actually go straight into Grasshopper, which is a plugin that is built on Rhino. Now, in this case, it's going to be very, very specific, for my use. But I am aware that planners, GIS planners also work with it. So I'm gonna open my script right now. I'm gonna go into downloads, and I have like my own script, like for my own towers, right? The magic here, it's gonna take a moment to open up because it is quite heavy. But the magic here is how you go either with Claude or with ChatGPT. You type in English, plain English, and you get a cohesive Python script, right? So let's say, you know what, I'm gonna show you my script, and then you're gonna give me like a prompt from your own world and from your own use case of like as an urban planner and a GIS professional, and then we're gonna try it in live. Honestly, I have no idea what the result is gonna be, but it's gonna be fun to experiment. So let's take a look. Um, can you all see the spaghetti nodes here, like on the right? Right. So
Yeah.
that's the visual scripting. And right now we actually have like a plugin. That's also something that we can dive into in case it's interesting to you guys. Um, let's see. Okay, it's gonna take like a minute to upload that. Meanwhile, guys, if anyone else wants to ask anything, let me know because I am curious about what makes you curious. And Kat, for you, I guess, like in your own pipeline, in your own work environment, what do you usually when you say data visualization, how do you go about it nowadays? Like what do you do to get like your data visual?
Yeah, so as of late, I've actually been working more on data integration than visualization, but I'm trying to position myself more into the visualization realm. Previously, what I would use would literally just be ArcGIS or QGIS to
Mhm.
create the visualizations, which end up being fairly basic because they're pretty limited on their tool sets. Yeah, so I'm pretty I guess like intermediary slash beginner when it comes to the visualization realm of things.
So you know what? I'm brainstorming now on the left screen with the AI about like how to get let's just put it in here together because like I think that's gonna be interesting, right? Like I'm gonna go to ChatGPT actually because like
For sure.
I trust it a notch more over Gemini.
I'm actually just gonna step out for just 1 second. Sorry, I'll
Yeah,
be right back.
sure. Help me come up with the right prompt. Prompt for data visualization. Working with Grasshopper and Python in Rhino. So that part might be boring for most of you because you're not coming from that aspect. but definitely, that's something that's like one-ish. Okay, so we have the prompt. All right. But I guess like for the rest of you, I'm thinking, whether you're game designers or interior designers, like let me know like what potential you see here with working with this pipeline. Like Nana, is that something you've tried? I know you're coming more from like 3ds Max and V-Ray and Corona. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
usually use Relay, Enscape, and Corner Render. So I would never use like a Rhino or like a render actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so from the photorealism perspective, do you think like this is something that is useful for you?
Yes, it is. It's much
Awesome.
more, I would say it's much more realistic than like Enscape or other tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remind me, are you doing your 3D modeling with SketchUp
SketchUp.
or
Yeah,
SketchUp?
SketchUp.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have, I'll send you I'll send you the information after the meeting. You should have like a plugin that connects directly between the two softwares. So like on one screen you'll be doing your work,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
on the right side you can actually visualize it in real time. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes the pipeline, especially for you like as interior designer, right? Like let's say I want to go now and change now the material inside, right? Like so
Mm-hmm.
I get inside my apartment, and I can show it to the client in live mode. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say we want to change like the floor into, I don't know, pine wood, right? And I'm gonna take the material and just throw it in, you know. Okay, or let's say we need some more lighting because like it's kind of dark. The sun is like not really appealing for this angle. So first of all, I'm gonna change the sun, and then I'm gonna. Okay, no, no. Oh, there you go. Okay, let me get some more sunlight here. Uh. Oh, okay, we had it. So, so around -60, okay, we get a little bit more of a sunlight. We should definitely, right now, what you're seeing is very, I can definitely increase the level of detail here. Um, let's take, let's work on lighting for a sec. So let's say, set up the lights, and I can work in either with a point light or a rectangle lighting. Once I press G on my keyboard, I can actually see the light fixture, and I can essentially I can, direct it where I want. Right now, it's not the strongest because it's only the intensity is only 8. I'm gonna change it into an EV, so like increase the exposure. Okay, now I increased it. Can you see it now? Like it's super, super bright. Like I think it's even, yeah, like I'm looking at it from the camera. Oh. Yeah. So, you know, that's one aspect of it. Also, like for your line of work, look at that. You have like a whole package of interior design, right? So if I'll go, I want to share with you another link. Then, that's something we can dive into like when we have like a longer workshop or like more time. Um, so it's called the Fab Marketplace. Take a look at that. So I'm gonna go into Fab Marketplace, and I'll share the link with you. Fab. Opa. Um, Can you guys see that? Hello? All right. So if I go here into interior design, I'm gonna share this with you in the chat. So any one of those packs is a pack with, free packs with assets that you can add it to your, to your scene. So you have like coffee shops, you have kitchens, you have living rooms, whatever you want. Some of them, as you can see, they do come up with materials. If you press here on the price, you can make sure that it's free. So price, and let's say we want show only free products, right? So I can use any of those packs, and it's like it's really interesting to me like to see this group here because like each one of you is really coming from a different background. So like feels to me like each one of you needs like a different workshop, like taking your work to a different direction. But I actually love it. Like all right. So Nana, did you?
Um,
Yeah, please.
sorry, I just wanted to say that I'm back. But please continue wherever you're at.
Okay, yeah. So we because you dropped for a while, we jumped into interior design. So we went from the perspective of the GIS to the perspective of the micro housing. Kat, for you, we have like another 4 minutes, but you know what I'm gonna do is like if you guys have individual questions, I'm gonna share another link. So like if you wanna, yeah, like we're gonna finish this live session like in a few minutes, but if it did open your mind and curiosity to like where you can go with it, you can just click back in and let me know what's more interesting to you. So I'll share the link here. Mm. All right, so I'm gonna share the link in the chat, and yeah, there it is. All right. Kat, before you left, okay, I have like another, almost barely 3 minutes, but like before you left, we started running like a prompt on ChatGPT to kind of trying to figure out how to go about with the data visualization um exactly for GIS. So let's see what we got here. So look, that's the prompt that I'm getting. Honestly, I need like a better understanding of your aim to completely go about it. But I'm totally experimenting with you. So let's dive into Python and let's see what we're getting here. So I'm gonna double click and open my script. There you go. So here's my script, right? Here's the translation of from. Can you see that? Can you see like the whole script?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So we're gonna go and let's type in the thing. Okay. So right now that script is generating just a couple of towers, but like let's say that I want to reorganize the script. Okay, I see what's going on here. I see. Okay. So I should be transparent with my AI and tell it like, look, buddy, this is my current script. This is my current script. And I'd like to, now you tell me what it is that you'd like to do. And
Well, I guess right now, because the script is showcasing the towers, I guess like I don't have any experience in architecture, so I'm trying to think of how to integrate, spatial data visualization with something that's architecturally based. Um, in my own particular, I guess, like example, usually it has more to do with environmental features, so like trees and canopy analysis, population analysis, whether it's like